Welcome back, Geeks and Degenerates! Today we'll be talking about, as you can see in the title, Atlantis, The Lost Empire, released in July 4, 2001, here in the Philippines. It was directed by Gary Truesdale and Kirk Weiss, and it has a bunch of really great actors like Michael J. Fox and etc. etc. Today, joining me, Nina, is Enzo and Jomar. So first, I gotta ask, the first thing that I always end up asking when I'm hosting, or at least we were probably all kids when this came out. So when do you guys remember the first time you watched this movie and where?
I'm not gonna lie, she did a way better intro than us too.
Oh my god, got that out.
No, no.
No, it's fine. It's content.
No, but like, I really remember watching this. It was out in 2001, so for sure, around that age, I don't remember anything.
You were
Like
like
my mind,
3, right?
yeah, my mind wasn't even like conscious yet. Like
Yeah,
it hasn't
conscious.
registered my existence. Um, so I probably watched this around like Disney, Disney Channel, where they would show movies on Saturdays. Not Saturdays. Every like 7 p.m. they always show a
Mm.
movie, and I think that's where I caught it. And this movie is ingrained into my memory. Like that shit. I can't. I know this movie step for step, step by step. Like I watched it so many times because it was so pretty, and I think it's the same artist who did Treasure Planet, right? Same people.
Probably. It looks very similar.
It
At
looks
least
very
maybe not the
similar.
character designs, but like maybe like background and stuff.
I think. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, this movie is fucking. It's here. It's here. Like that's where that movie is, and it's so ingrained into my childhood. Like I don't know, shit. Now I've pretty much given up my hand on like what I'm gonna rate this movie. But yeah, how about you, Enzo?
Like you, I remember watching it on Disney Channel. Like as you said, it's weird. That's one of the strangest details you can remember. It's every 7 p.m. Uh,
Dude, because I watch like Disney Channel movies a lot.
Yeah, we all like, back then our only options for entertainment were if not playing with other kids our age,
Yeah,
it was
it's TV.
TV. We all
mm,
grew up on TV, right?
And like, of course, we're not gonna go on like Star Movies or HBO because we're kids.
right.
And even if we did, like we wouldn't understand those movies. Like those
Yeah,
clearly were not made for us.
Unless
yeah,
it was like Jurassic Park playing. Like, oh, I caught you Jurassic Park.
exactly,
Uh,
exactly. That's like a Charizard pull.
yeah. But I vividly remember watching this movie and just thinking, this is definitely not Disney. And like years later, I'm like, oh, it is Disney. Jesus Christ, what? Why isn't this, more love? Why does it have like a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes? That's bullshit. Because I definitely think it's much better than that. It deserves to be like at least in the 80s, at least. And
Mm.
as Nina pointed out, it has such an interesting cast with like Michael J. Fox and Leonard Nimoy, of all people. You're like, huh,
Uh,
it's an interesting combo.
I mean, also, what's his name? Tim, Men in Black guy.
Huh?
Men in Black guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which one?
Not Will Smith, but like
Yeah, which one?
the older guy.
The other
Who was
guy?
he?
Wasn't he
There's
like
a lot of
the bad guy?
No, that wasn't him at all.
Really, it sounds like him.
It does, but it's not Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, it's Tommy
no,
Lee.
the
That's why I
bad
was like thinking
guy.
Tim. Okay, okay. Sorry, my bad. I thought that was him. I was just trying to do it
No,
by
it's
ear.
okay.
Yeah. But
Voice actors change their voices for roles, right?
You could shut up. Wait, who voiced Kiagagash?
It
Cree,
was Cree
Huh?
Summers.
Cree
Cree
Summers.
Summer. Not
Uh,
Summer, sorry, Summer like a single summer.
Ah, okay. Well,
and she's been in
it's
a lot
single,
of
not
things
plural.
since then. But yeah, as a kid, I love this movie, and to this day, I still love this movie. I think it's one of the best underrated animated movies of all time.
Hmm. Yeah.
I
How about you?
agree. That's why I pushed so hard for this in a movie to get reviewed at all. Just because I wanted to sing its praises and also give myself a reason to rewatch it again and again and again. Yeah, same as everyone. I don't have a specific sorry, excuse me. I didn't have a specific day that I remember age. I just remember watching it at some point in my life.
Yeah.
But I didn't really grow to appreciate it until I was a lot older. But I always knew how much I loved the world of Atlantis. Like I always thought like there's just something about the idea of these like the architecture look really interesting to me, the style of clothes, like the fact that they all have like white hair, which is so freaking crazy to me, and like the tattoos, the food, like everything seemed so interesting. And of course, like I found like the character ensemble to be really cute as well,
Mm.
of course. And I just remember distinctly loving the flying fish machines.
Yeah.
Like I remember as a kid wanting to play on that and fly around. Like it seemed so cool to me.
Mm.
Like I don't know if you guys had the same experience as that, because it just seems so cool. Like, oh, you have a crystal that like powers everything and stuff. So cool.
I mean,
Um,
it has the same safety features as the brooms of Harry Potter, but sure, you do you.
Yeah, sure, yeah, exactly. Not exactly the safest, but probably hella fun.
I love that. Yeah.
Sure.
Who needs safety when you have when you have
Re-
flying fish and brooms?
Yeah. Rewatching this, I forgot how adult this movie was.
No, I agree with that because I was about to mention like watching it as a kid, it kind of goes over your head just how many people end up dying
Yeah.
throughout the movie, because they said it themselves. They were like, we started with a crew of 200, now we're the only ones left, and I'm like, that's a lot of people dead. Like, hello.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
Watching this movie sometimes and seeing like the ancient technology, like, you know what? Maybe History Channel is right. Maybe it is all aliens. No, I'm kidding.
Maybe it is all aliens. But like, no, I'm serious though, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
kind of more adult than we remember. Especially like
Yeah.
I remember the first distinct one that I remember in my rewatch was when oh my gosh, I cannot believe I forgot her name.
Olga?
Not Helga. Is it Helga?
Helga.
Yeah, Helga. Olga. Who's that another character?
That's Hey
I'd be like,
Arnold.
no.
Olga Pataki.
No, yeah. No, Audrey.
Audrey,
the engineer girl.
Hmm.
When she like closes, like it's flooding in the initial.
Oh yeah,
big ship
one
that
dude
they
gets
use,
closed
and
off.
one dude gets closed off with the wave, and I was like, what? That's a horrible way to go. Like, hello.
Goodbye, sir.
Yeah, and like, what else? There were a lot of like adult jokes here as well. Where, what's her name again? The femme fatale girl, the blonde hair.
Helga, the one that I.
Helga,
yeah.
sorry. She, was this like as she's introducing the really rich, like the dude's funding the entire
Oh
trip.
yeah. It's the elevator scene. Is that the elevator scene?
Yeah,
she's
where
like,
she was like, he doesn't bite sometimes. I'm like,
unless you want him. Isn't also like? Wasn't there also unless you want him to or something?
yeah, I'm like, damn.
Her fate,
Yeah, there were so many things that went over our head.
her fate though, like any other higher rating movie, like when she falls.
Oh, they won't kill her off. She's too pretty for
No,
other
no, no,
movies.
No, I mean,
He did
you're
die though.
any other
She did
movie,
die, though.
like
She,
if
like-
this movie was rated R, like she would be like lying on the ground in a pool of her own blood. But like since it's Disney,
With her leg the other way around, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah.
yeah, but like since it's Disney, it's like there's no blood, but she does fall a really long way down.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then like she's really, really weak. Yeah, I said that to myself too. I was like, of course they couldn't kill her like on screen, you know.
But I
Like
do
the
love
deaths had
how
to be a little more, sanitized.
yeah, but like Cookie explained that the Zeppelin kind of fell on her.
Yeah, the Zeppelin did fall on her exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, I do like the character of Milo, like the scrawny kid who obviously doesn't drink Milo every day, just trying to complete his granddad's research and fulfill the
Yeah.
promise he made, essentially. Because he,
Hmm.
as Preston said, like his grandfather, they pulled him down. Like, you're crazy for thinking this lost empire exists, and he's trying to do right by his grandfather. And he's like, no, this exists, and this is my kind of my only the thing that's pushing me forward.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think for the plot of the movie, right? Like, it's a very straightforward thing. Like, oh, kid wants to prove the city exists for the sake of his grandfather's legacy. You know, and like everyone calls him crazy, but then rich benefactor decides, you know, I'm friends with your grandfather, always loved him. And then we made the joke, the person I was watching it with, we were like, that's kind of fruity though. Like that kind of dedication with each other, you know,
I mean, they did
like, kinda
kiss.
fruity. Yeah, they did kiss, so I was like, that's hella fruity. You know, like of course rich benefactor comes in, says, hey, we'll fund it. And then it turns into a story of like greed and colonialism and taking away from the natives of a already civilized civilization that, and then they say, oh, you're
America.
savages. Exactly. Technically, just they were all American, right? It just so happened that it was in America. They started off in America because I thought it was England for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
Same.
I mean, the Atlanteans aren't American; they're Atlantean.
No.
No, we're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I was like, what? It looked like I was like, I assume when it's like 1950 and like it's for whatever reason drama periods always have to start in England. For whatever reason, you know, but whatever,
Yeah.
that's just me. Yeah, you know, and then Rich, it's a whole story about colonialism, which of course as children went totally over our heads, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's why we
Yeah,
like
they-
Pocahontas so
it-
much too.
Yeah, they took our lands
Yeah.
peacefully.
You know, took our lands peacefully, you know, right? Peacefully,
Peacefully.
with a lot of. But anyway, no, that's just yeah, the plot was fair. It was fairly straightforward, you know. It was a very short movie, of course. I think that's really the thing with the movies catered towards children, is that it truly has to be. I don't know if it's because of budgeting reasons or whatever, like, but they were very short, right? Like, was Atlantis made for theaters or was it a straight to TV?
Oh, it was
Theaters.
made for theaters, but then the second movie was straight to DVD.
Yeah, straight to, it was, of course, because that's always how it happens with Disney for whatever reason.
Yeah.
When they make sequels. Peak Cinderella 2 and 3. Did you know there was a third one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
There's also like a Bambi too. We're like, why? How?
Yeah,
What's
I don't
up?
know.
We're gonna watch Bambi get shot. No, just kidding.
Same fate as his
Well,
mother.
this one kind
Same
of
fate
like,
as this one.
but the opening for this movie is, I forget how intense it was, because it begins like, what did you do? We're fucked. Run. It's like, oh damn, it's the end of the civilization. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. Like, again, you watch, like, again, fairly violent. You think to yourself, like you watch an entire civilization, like
Just
an
get
incredibly
wiped out.
sophisticated civilization, just get wiped out in one go, and you're like, whoa. And you don't
Yeah.
realize the magnitude of an entire, you know, like the level of Pompeii, an entire place gets like decimated in one go from one cataclysmic event.
I was gonna say Pompeii in water though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pompeii in water, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, there are other things that I should have been scared as a kid, but like it went over my head, like the king, you know, Josh and me, like the king, since he was punched by Rourke, has internal bleeding. As a kid, I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah, you don't know what that means. Just like he looks. Of course, they have to sanitize it, right? Like you can't have like full blood on in a.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've ever seen like a. I didn't see in the entire movie a graphic depiction of blood or anything, right?
Like when Rourke.
If
punches
I remember,
Milo.
yeah, he had a bit of a bloody nose.
Yeah, maybe
But
a bit of a nosebleed, but like it's never like out of a like an arm or a on the
Yeah,
side.
especially that
you know?
one scene with Rourke. What's his name?
Wait, what?
Which one?
Where
Which
he
character?
When he cuts him in the
Yeah,
arm.
where
Yeah.
where Milo cuts.
That's kind of more horrific.
Dramatic.
Though, because
That is way
Yeah,
more
because he
terrifying
kind of
than
like
blood.
slowly gets more. Like he slowly like solidifies into crystal.
and
It's
he
kind of like
starts
oh.
screeching. You're like, okay, that's kind of scary. Not gonna lie.
Kind of cool though.
Yeah.
Like kind of cool way today.
Sure, sure.
I mean,
Speaking, going back to the titular civilization, Atlantis underwater looks fantastic. Like, it looks like a thriving civilization that has been surviving all these years. But as Kita says, like we're living, but we're not thriving. Not, as much
Yeah,
as we would like to.
exactly.
mm. The thing is, I found weird with Atlantis, and I get it. That they're supposed to be like this natives, and this is their land and sacred, and they keep the tradition. I was like, you guys got flying vehicles. Why don't you guys got guns yet?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't think, because like I think my assumption is that you needed what, freaking, you needed what for to create the same guns that the normal people, not normal people, but like the other people, the party did. You know,
Yeah.
they had like gunpowder. You needed metals for it. You know, you need.
But their fish things shoots lasers out of their mouths.
Yeah, but they didn't know how to operate them because remember they stopped learning how to read for whatever reason. They all stopped learning how to read all at once. Which I mean, okay,
Yeah,
I see.
that's kinda
Like I hope
convenient.
you realize. Yeah, right. Okay, I hope like as much as I totally enjoyed the movie, there were so many plot things that I was just kind of like, how does an entire civilization that only talks to itself, only interacts with itself, all of a sudden stop learning how to read? Kita was born at a time where she could still read it. She was old enough to still read. The girl knew what happened to her mom but can't read. Her dad stayed as her dad was still alive the whole time, and all of a sudden, just because he was blind, didn't know how to read either. Like not
I
like
mean, to
read,
be
but like
fair,
teach
he
people how to
did go
read.
blind. Okay, sure.
Yeah, but he could still like teach people like, oh, this character, you know.
But how can he teach
But I mean-
this character means this
She's
when he's
so bad.
blind?
No, you know how Braille works. You use feel. Hello.
Oh,
Wait. Like I love how they blocked off this entire city to protect them from a gigantic flood, and all the people that survived were illiterates.
Yeah.
It's just very
Why
funny to
is
me.
everyone illiterate? Like this cataclysmic event was so traumatic. All of a sudden, people stopped learning how to read in one go. Stuff like that. Okay, I'm not
That
a
one
historian.
library was outside the border.
Yeah, the one, you know, like, look, okay,
Then
I
that
get
flood
it, right?
wiped out all of our scholars and teachers. Were
Yeah,
fine.
all in one go.
You know what
You
we
know, but-
prioritize?
Um,
What
No,
Nina?
no, I'm just saying, like, dead languages don't happen overnight, you know, unless again, for whatever reason, the entire, and I mean every single person who is able to read does not survive. But clearly, there were adults. You know, it's not as if all the children were the only ones alive. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, but I'm not mad. I'm just kind of like this. This is really
Nitpicky?
like, yeah. I'm just it's terribly nitpicky of me. Like, it's just me going like that's a weird plot hole that they couldn't learn how to read. You know, but I get why they can't. Like Kita said, right? Sorry, excuse me. Like Kita said, her people were only living, not thriving. So when you're barely surviving, there's this like thing, this where, you know, unless you know, it's the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Like if you're only barely surviving, you won't ever be able to go up in the pyramid. So you can't innovate if you can barely survive as it is, right?
Hmm.
So I get why they couldn't quote unquote create guns, and again, they couldn't read the blueprints of all things anyway. You know, you gotta read to learn how to know. You know, but whatever, it's fine.
Anyways.
yeah.
Anyway, that's a total rant
like
from
they,
all of us.
they can remember other like languages too, like French and English. Right?
Yeah, they learned French for whatever reason. Who taught them French?
Was there French back in like?
Yeah, they knew French.
Yeah,
They knew like a lot of dead language. Because the point of the Atlantean language was that it's so old that it's the origin for other languages. Because you know how like English comes from a bunch of Anglo-Saxon, like European languages, but those European languages come from a bunch of Latin and stuff like that. Like if you go so way back that you become the origin of all of these languages, then of course. But I'm also like, who taught them French though? You never
Yeah,
Why would you learn French?
like your
I
civilization went
like this
down.
movie.
Your civilization went down before
Yeah.
France was ever a thing. You
Yeah,
know?
so that's why I was like, wait,
You know, there's just
that's what,
things that as adults I didn't obviously catch it. I just thought it was cool. They learn these languages. Of course, they'll interact.
I mean, unless the Leviathan learned it for them and just told them.
Yeah, and
the
then
thing.
started talking to them. Like,
And
by
with
the
French,
way,
Like, by the way, I
What?
knocked down a friendship. They speak this funny language. That's the only thing I can guess.
Francais.
It's either that or
Whatever,
like, yeah,
it's-
they're
Much.
aliens. Period. That's it. No more plot things.
yeah, no bad things. They're just. But I don't think Disney ever overtly called them aliens. You know, like I doubt they went into it believing they're aliens. No.
Yeah, obviously they didn't watch enough History Channel. Again, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's
I don't think-
it's
I don't
always
think-
the aliens with you.
I don't think Ancient Aliens was out that time.
Yeah. But like I like their attempts to stop Milo's. No, not Milo's, but the expedition's attempts to like go into their civilization, because they like send like fireflies that are literally on fire, and all these speed bumps along the way. We're like, I guess no means no. We should turn back. It's another weird thing because like they're underground and then suddenly it's known. We're like, how does this work?
Wait, it's
Yeah,
snowing.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
snowing.
There was a weird snow area, and I was kind of like, it better be. Because the thing is, doesn't there need to be an atmosphere to create snow?
Be so.
Like you can't, like unless you know.
Unless
Okay.
the
I don't know how
Atlanteans
it works.
made like a artificial, snow machine or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But there is this one building. So the cave could be big enough. If the cave's big enough, it will have its own atmosphere. This is what I've seen. Like this big ass building in Germany that Hitler wanted to build. I think they did build it, but to the point that there was actual clouds above it, like beside the roof, like started to form because it was that high.
Where are
if
we
I
going
remember
with
correctly.
Isn't that just because it's so high? Isn't it less
Yeah,
because
like
it creates its own
it's-
atmosphere and because
Yeah,
it just
yeah,
its
it's
actual
huge.
atmosphere?
No, it's just huge. That's it. Like I don't know. I don't know how this is possible. I'm not gonna fucking debunk Atlantis: The Lost Empire. But yeah.
Who among the crew is your favorite though?
Oh, Vinny.
Vinny.
Oh, I enjoyed.
There's
Even as a
Vinny.
kid, I think I really enjoyed Audrey because she was so pretty, and
Yeah.
she was really sassy. I liked that, you know. Oh no, but I also really liked that. Sweet. I love Sweet though. Super.
The
He was
Terry
so
Crews.
nice. He was
Yeah.
just so nice.
I like the sassy Lala who's operating the radio.
All right, I forgot.
Oh,
her name.
the sassy Lola.
We're all gonna die.
You're all gonna die. Always smoking. Yeah, those are very. I think in terms of characters, I wouldn't say that they're like terribly fleshed out, like well fleshed out, but they had their, you got their whole shtick, like what their motivating factors were, what was their motivation for being here, and then they were like, it's money, 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 and then like they you had like a really quick, it was very like tell don't show kind of deal, very like
Yeah.
oh, what's your deal? All of a sudden they're just opening up to each other. Like, by the way, this is my story,
It's funny though, because like Cookie, I think Drummer will relate to this more. Cookie is like, damn, if that's Uncle, if he survived all those years later and managed to go to Atlantis, yeah, that's Uncle.
Cookie. His name's not Cookie, right? It's Sweet.
No,
Are you
no.
thinking of
Cookie's
Cookie?
No, not the doctor. Not the doctor.
Oh, okay. I was
The
like, Cookie.
old hillbilly dude.
Yeah.
Oh, old hillbilly dude. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
got
I was like, wait.
Lumbago pretty fast.
Lumbago.
Lumbago.
But like, I do love this little bit of exposition that the Leonard Nimoy kind of gave, where they're talking about how the cataclysmic event happened. It was them testing out a weapon,
Mhm.
and then it just wiped them all out. So I'm like, damn, they had the nuke that was powerful than the nuke.
Yeah.
So, I'm like,
Oh,
shit.
way before way before the nuke was even created, right?
And
Yeah.
that was, the catalyst for the civilization to not, live long and prosper for that many years. If that didn't happen, Joey
Didn't-
Good
dies.
joke. Good joke.
But
Good joke.
oh my god. Anyway, but yeah, I think it was just when it came to the plot, it was just very straightforward. It like they had to hit, they hit all of these points all at once. It
It was
was
all in
and they
one
only had
day,
an
by the
hour.
way.
Yeah, and everything was in what would have been at least 24 hours, maybe a little
Yeah.
more, but like for sure it all happened in one go. Which I mean, I get it. Like it was the most convenient for the writers to just be like do everything at once because they only had an hour and a half to tell the whole story that they wanted to.
Mhm.
I don't know
But
why though. Like, don't kids' movies nowadays even still reach up to at least 2 hours, if not a little less?
I don't know. This was like the experimental side of like Disney when it came
True,
to
it
like
was it
Terra
was then.
Planet and Atlantis.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
more of their like, let's just push the boundaries however far we can make it, right?
And
Yeah.
this and Treasure Planet didn't do so well because it's not Disney's bread and butter. It's not fairy tales. And
Yeah, it
fairy
was a
tales.
little bit different. Well, technically, this was a princess story.
Yeah,
It
but
has a
like,
princess, but it doesn't mean it is a princess story.
I mean, she fell in love with him within a day.
True.
that
Anyway,
scene though was like, what are you doing?
did they end up kissing?
Oh,
like,
I love.
like
No, they
on
didn't.
Like,
screen?
no. They hugged.
They didn't.
They hugged.
Yeah, so
But-
technically, they could have still developed. It's not as if like it was like Snow White level of like
It's technically sex.
I'm dead and this guy is kissing me, like and the same thing with Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
sleeping, but this dude's kissing me.
It's not like
Yeah.
Ariel, where it's like the main driving force. It'd be like, I just met this dude in a day, and I'm in love, and please fall in love with me too. It's like, oh, cool, character progression.
Yeah, exactly.
But- Oh God, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Enzo mentioned it. It was like that scene where I think that changed me as a boy.
What scene? Oh, the one where she's going into the water.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, same. I didn't know I was in a. I'm just kidding. Dude, Doja Cat did a really good cosplay of her too. But anyway.
really? No, I gotta
Yeah,
look that
yeah.
up.
Yeah, she did. She did a really good Kita cosplay, which was amazing. Yes, for the boys and for the people, well, most specifically the one guy in this call right now, very much awakened as a little part of him with the Kita going into the water. Did you guys ever really weird thing. I know that this is a review, but did you guys ever like try to when people were swimming for a long time?
Yeah,
in
I did
movies,
hold
Did you
my
ever
breath,
try to
and I'm
hold
like-
your breath to see how
like-
long you could do it too?
They're like swimming beneath like 15 feet. Your ears would have been.
Yeah, it's
dead.
like it's really deep.
I mean,
Anyway, but yeah, I
Yeah.
did that as a kid too. Though for the longest time I was afraid of swimming. So when I got over that fear, that's what I did.
That's one thing. I think I never swam with you.
Omar.
Oh, that's weird. Like I never went to like a pool
Now,
with
now-
this guy.
now you know why.
Anyway, yeah, just that has nothing to do with anything. Anyway, anyway, so yeah, I think, is there any other scenes that you guys want to talk about that really got you? Or anything about this movie that you liked?
I like, them being like, fuck it, fuck the money. This is the wrong thing to do, and we'll just join Milo, and we'll make a stand with Milo as one, and hopefully stop Rourke from taking Kid away as they go up into the atmosphere. What do you-
Yeah,
what do you guys-
I love that one dialogue that Milo has where he's like losing his mind. Like, what do you want me to do when this crazy dude is about to sell Kita to the Kaiser? I'm like, that's good. I love that
It's a
shit.
cute. Yeah, it's really cute. I think I already mentioned all of the things that I really liked about this movie. Of course, when it came down to it, like the plot was admittedly very fast. It was, as an adult, right? And having reviewed a lot of films, you really notice like, wow, the pacing for like kids movies back then were really fast because either they were like, yeah, it was like plot, and of course there were pretty moments like maybe that had like a couple of seconds, like in the beginning, right, when they were still flying around, you can see how pretty the civilization was, but at the end of the day, it was like, it's a really quick movie. It's very, very fast paced. And I don't blame them, probably because they had to think of, okay, one, kids don't really have the attention span to just watch like
Yeah.
a really, just a slow scene, on top of the fact that I just don't think they didn't give them enough time to actually, to actually get them 2 hours for a kids movie. Because at the end of the day, this was what they were aiming for. They were aiming for kids.
Mm.
So yeah, I think, but still, I still really enjoyed it. I truly think it is underrated. I wish they could have either given them more time or at least maybe budget for really more extravagant scenes. But I think every scene that we have so far looked really good. The city itself looked great. It wasn't terribly fleshed out, but it was okay. It serviced what it needed to do. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the environment alone is so pretty. Like them swimming down to see the what do you call it?
Mural.
The mural. I'm like, that's a big ass mural. Where the hell are
I
they?
just thought of something. Like when
What?
Commander Rourke was floating up, I'm like, didn't you come from the sea? So when
No,
you-
no, no. They explained it though.
Oh yeah, they're like underneath a volcano.
Yeah,
So
they're
it's
in.
just
They're
straight
in.
up.
Yeah, it's a straight up
They
shot. If
better
they can
though.
remove.
Huh?
Huh?
They're underneath the volcano, so they're gonna appear in the center of the volcano.
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
dead volcano though. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
mostly
yeah.
dormant volcano.
It-
So like
it
the
was-
idea was that if
Yeah.
there was a big explosion, it
Big
would
enough
trigger
explosion.
a big enough explosion, and then they looked at the joke was they looked at Vinny. It was like, oh sorry, not
Yeah,
a
he
good
was like
time.
tinkering
And
with a
he-
bomb.
Yeah, and he's like, oh not a good time. Sorry, I'll do that
Okay.
later. So they did explain that at the very least. I get there are plot holes, but like if as a kid, they covered all the bases.
Mm.
To at least be like, it's semi believable.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about for you guys?
What?
Yo, what? Is there another scene?
Yeah, I was like, well, which one of you guys wanted to talk? Because you both looked like you were about to talk at the same
Oh,
time.
no,
So excited.
I was thinking, but yeah, I still really like this movie despite realizing how many a couple of the plot holes there. Like I still had a great time watching it. Like it's nice to know that both this and Treasure Planet are still hold up pretty well. Like my God, I just wish. I've said this a lot of times. I wish it was just more love and more recognized as one of the best.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I also wish that there was a little bit more time. Like, I get it that it is a kids' movie, and they had to like, all right, we gotta make this fast. But like, I don't know. I feel like this movie deserves a little bit more explanation, or like,
Yeah, exactly. Like I wanted to see more of the world building because
yeah,
it already, as it was, looked great. Like I wanted to learn more about the culture. Like the tattoos, all that stuff. Like I made a joke, like an offhand joke. I was like, "Oh, the tattoos are so cool. Like I totally want to get one as a tattoo at some point in the future because really cool." But I get that. Whatever, it's fine. But that's it, really. I mean, I think we've kind of covered all the bases of how we feel about this movie, the plot holes, what we liked and what we kind of disliked about it, and our little memories of it. So I think if this is before I close it up, is there anything you guys want to talk about, or are we good? We can do the ratings now.
I just so cool hearing Leonard Nimoy as the voice, the late great, I should say, Leonard Nimoy. Like it's always nice to see him in something that's
Yeah.
not Star Trek.
and especially the ending was a little bit touching as well, where they're pretty much all of them are rich now, and all the benefactor, the guy who pretty much paid for everything, gets a little token as well. I'm like, oh, this kind of
Yeah, that was cute. That was really cute. I also enjoyed that too. Like I loved the relationship, even if it was so short. The relationship between the benefactor and Milo, because it was kind of like he was like the surrogate grandfather, to him.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
if for a little bit. So I mean, he literally financed the whole thing. So yeah.
Yeah.
And so, Jummer, ratings?
Oh right, yeah. You go first, Hazel.
I will give this movie comfortable with giving this an 8 out of 10. Like I said before, I really like this movie, plot holes and all, and this is well animated, well acted. Again, the voice casting is just so unique, especially the King and Milo. Like, I can't even remember the last voice acting thing Michael J. Fox ever did, but he's good at it, definitely.
Mhm.
Jummer
Yeah, I
Jummer.
don't remember either.
Yeah,
I'm trying
I
to
think
think of
Jummer's
other-
thinking.
I'm trying to think of other like movies that Michael J. Fox was in. Like he voiced maybe.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
voiced and not acted in, like, per se, like voice acted in. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a really good story despite the plot holes, and it is straightforward. But it's enough. It feels like the first chapter of a book, and sadly, well, except for the second one, but this one's have a more solid chapter. That
Yeah,
to
the
end.
animation really went down on the second movie.
Yeah,
sadly.
yeah,
Yeah, that's how it is with the. That's how it is. That's how they always do it with
The straight
those
DVD.
Straight to DVD.
straight to DVD sequels. You know, Cinderella. What else? What else were other straight to
Tarzan.
DVD? Yeah, the Tarzan too.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
it's
my
I don't know. I don't. Yeah,
Like
it's
the
just
Yeah.
it's the trend.
The least
Yeah,
worst one was
yeah.
Lion King 2 for me, at least. Like, you know,
Oh yeah,
that's
they
not so
kept up.
bad.
They kept up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I would give this one a 7, like a fair 7, because I really really love this movie. It is close to like my heart because it is a childhood thing, but like I really needed more. I needed more. This movie needed more time. I wish it hit the 2-hour mark at least,
Yeah.
and a lot of things weren't. Oh, were very rushed in my opinion. Like this is why I'm giving it a 7 because we didn't really have time to develop. These characters were amazing though. Like as little time as we had with them, they're amazing. I think this is just me being biased, but I think I needed more time with this movie. Like if they are gonna adapt this to like a live action, I think it will work.
I just
don't
want
let
an
Netflix do
update.
it.
Yeah, just
Just don't let Netflix do it.
yeah.
You know,
I think. Oh yeah. Go ahead, Jobber. Sorry, Enzo.
3-1. No, I'm gonna say the statement at the end, so I want to see your guys' reactions to it.
All right.
Okay.
Wait,
I
let's
think-
let's finish the ratings first.
Yeah. I think for me personally, I can comfortably give it a 7.5 because I'm going in between both of your because I feel like an 8 was too high based on the plot holes and what Jobber said we needed more. I wish there was more world building. But I think, and I wanted to actually kind of give Jomar a little bit of a pat on the back. Like, every opinion is biased. Like, admittedly, all our reviews are subjective. So you guys don't blame us. I'm just kidding. Don't blame us. But, at the end of the day, this is all our personal opinions. At the end of the day, we're all biased. And to whatever side we're on, I don't think there's a truly subjective way to review movies. But yeah, I think I can comfortably give it a 7.5. I think I still super love it. The nostalgia factor has totally hit, and I am in love. I've always been in love with the way that the the movie looked. I love Kita especially. I love Milo especially. Every side character was cute. And again, I agree with Jummer. I wish there was more, ways they could have developed more relationship with each other. But the relationship between Audrey and Milo was really cute. Like I think they had they had multiple conversations over the length of the movie, which was great. But at the end of the day, I cannot get over those plot holes with the reading. Everyone's all of a sudden being illiterate. The language barrier. I kind of didn't understand the architecture, like the way that the Atlantis actually looked. So it was just there were just some things that were just kind of like a little jarring as an adult, and I get it. But at the end of the day, I still think it is a movie worth watching, and I hope one day we get a chance to remake this if live action something great or an animated one or an updated animated one, which would be just as great. So yeah, but at the end of the day, nostalgia factor is really strong. Sorry guys. I think my scale I have to say this now. My scale is very arbitrary. I can only talk like honest to God, I have a very arbitrary like my numbers are arbitrary. I just prefer giving points rather than a score, but that's just me though. But yeah. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Enzo, please, your point.
This movie has made the rounds, as you pointed out, for a live action remake, and I'm kind of nervous. And like seeing Disney's track record with live action remakes, I'm like, I just leave it alone, please. Like, can we just stop with the live action bullshit?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get you.
I
Like,
personally feel like oh, go ahead.
no, finish your point, please.
No, I personally feel like, animation has come a long way since we first started, getting big ticket movies. And I feel like, you know, we've seen it in Arcane, we've seen it in Spider-Verse, doing a remake in animation is just as valid as doing it in live action. It doesn't make it more or less profitable, Like if anything, Arcane and Spider-Verse is like the shining beacon of animation can be just as big of a ticket as doing live action, But that's it. Please continue.
I just wish Disney would stop. Be like, we have no ideas. Let's reach back into our nostalgia vault.
Oh, well, let's go back into the bag, pull something out, and make it real.
Like you would think, at least Mulan would be easy to pull off. Like, you can do this. It's an epic quest. She pretends to be a man. She saves China. That's the end. I don't know what was with the Falcon bullshit. I don't know what was the magic bullshit.
Yeah, the whole Phoenix, like a whole Phoenix shit.
Yeah. Or like with Lion King 2019, I'm like, my God, you traced the entire movie. What the fuck is this?
Like you couldn't even do yourself a favor and like, if not updated it, at least like give it a twist.
Yeah. Okay, I'll probably give this like an updated update the animation.
Milo, ooh.
Milo Uwu. That's not even in the anime, you piece of shit.
Stop.
Yeah, like update their animation and make it into a show. Like the entire ride. What?
They did make it a show. There was a show, wasn't there?
My God, bro.
There was?
There was?
I don't remember this. I remember
I don't
Tarzan's
remember.
show.
Or was it or was it an Atlantis show, or was it a freaking? No, I'm thinking of. Sorry, I'm thinking of the second movie as if it was a show because it just went straight to DVD. Sorry, because I only saw it on TV, of course. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Yeah, those.
But yeah, I want to see a show of this, like really high quality animation.
Yeah, just give us Arcane again.
Yeah, exactly. 9 episodes is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, give us Arcane again.
Give us Arcane.
You know those
It doesn't need to be 3D.
those direct to DVD movies are on the same levels of quality as the live action remakes, for at least some of them. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I
just
agree.
definitely out at this point.
Yeah.
But I still I was such a simp for like Kita and Milo that I totally still enjoyed the second. Like I remember as a kid enjoying watching
the second one.
Yeah, I know, but like I know it's like quality wise. If I were to really like, I'm with Enzo. Like if I were to watch it now, I would like absolutely shit on it.
I rewatched it when I was 13 and I was like, whoa. I don't remember it looking like shit.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think that's it. We can totally. I think that's it, guys. You can find. Oh, wait. Sorry. Before I do the plugs, anything else, or are we good, Enzo, Jomar?
Good.
A Treasure Planet sequel would be nice.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Enzo,
what?
Wrong video.
What? I'm just
Say
saying.
it in the
Well, it's too late.
It's too late. It's already
But yeah,
the editor.
No. It's in the same realm as Treasure Planet being underrated. You know, it's two very underrated Disney movies, or like the most underrated movies Disney's ever made.
Yeah, agreed. I agree.
All right.
But please don't flame us, guys. I'm just kidding. So with that, I think we've talked at length about our gripes, our loves about this movie. We have given our ratings. So I think if you guys want more content from us, you can totally check out our YouTube channel, Geeks and Degenerates. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/Geeks and Degenerates. We also have a Discord. And if you guys want to find me, I am Nina on Twitter and Instagram. I do stream, but I'm currently busy right now. Enzo, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Yandalvas1995. Jamar?
You can find me at JomGeom. Is my Instagram art account.
And I think that's it. We really did talk a lot. This went on for a lot longer than I was expecting.
Yeah, when you said YouTube, you messed up the word
YouTube.
You went YouTube. me and Enzo were like,
Did I say you? Oh my god,
Yeah.
YouTube. If you guys can find us on YouTube.
Yes, we are on the
Alright.
show YouTube.
Yes, we are on YouTube. That's it. I think that's a really great way to end it with my fail. Peace out, guys. Stay safe. Get vaccinated. Wear your masks. You know, we're almost at the end of this. Hopefully, one day we can all meet up with any of you guys watching our videos. But for now, interact with us on our social media and our Discord. So
yes.
we're pretty active there. Take care, guys. And that's it. That's our review on Atlantis: The Lost Empire. Peace out.
I mean, it ain't a Geeks and Degenerates video without somebody fucking